Hello to all the contestants participating in sports contests at Fans Help Players. This video will explain how these sports contests are scored. It can be a two-step process, as we will see. Sport contests at Fans Help Players include a men's final for Division I basketball contest, and a women's final for Division I basketball contest, and a Division I college football playoffs contest. In each contest, fans win by picking the athletes they think will start in the semi-final games. So, the fan contestants each will buy badges before they know which teams will play in the semi-finals, what we call the target games. So, for example, in the college football playoffs contest, the fan contestants will be buying badges all during the fall, even though the playoff games are in January. That is the skill part of the contest. Buying from athletes you think will make it to be qualified starters in one of the target games. So, in the first round of scoring, after the semi-final target games are played, 1 point is awarded to each fan who bought at least one badge type from an athlete who later became a qualified starter. There are 5 badge types. These types are endorsement badges, talking badges, mementos, sport badges, and seasonal badges. For basketball, the qualified starters are the 5 players of each team who are on court for the tip-off play of a semi-final in the Final Four. For football, the qualified starters are the 11 players on field for offense for the first play from scrimmage in the first semi-final game, and the 11 players on field for defense for the first play from scrimmage in the second semi-final game. So in basketball, we are talking about 20 qualified starters who fans want to have purchased badges from before the semi-finals are played. And in football, 22 qualified starters who fans want to have purchased badges from before the semi-finals are played. Remember, only badges bought during the specified contest time period will count in the scoring. Any badges purchased prior to the contest or after the end of the contest will not count. So, regarding points for the fans, here is a display in this small table of the purchases Fan Jones made of badges at FHP in a sports contest. Take a look at the first athlete listed. We see Fan Jones bought an endorsement badge and a sport badge from this athlete 1000-12. If this athlete later became a qualified starter in a target game, then those purchases under the rule of 1 point, if one or more types of badge is bought, that gave Fan Jones 1 point. Now take a look at the other athletes on the chart to see which purchases Fan Jones made. We see he purchased 1 or more badge types for each. If each of these 4 athletes later becomes a qualified starter in one of the target games, then Fan Jones will get a total of 4 points for these purchases under the rule. If all qualified starters have registered at Fans Help Players, then the top score possible in a basketball contest round 1 is 20. For football, the top score in round 1 if all qualified starters are registered at FHP would be 22. But now let's say, after all the first round scores are completed for each fan in the contest, let's say there is a tie. Let's say 5 fans each got the top score. Then we go to round 2 of the score tabulation. In round 2 of the score tabulation, we have a new way to calculate each fan's score. That new way awards 1 point for each badge category of type of fan purchased from an athlete who later was a qualified starter in one of the target games. Let's apply the new rule to the same chart. Look at the 4th athlete listed. The fan purchased at least 1 badge in each of the 5 badge categories or types from that athlete. That means that fan is awarded a score of 5 for these purchases of at least 1 in each of the 5 categories. Now take a look at the other 3 athletes. Note how many of the badge types Fan Jones purchased from the other 3 athletes who later became qualified starters. So for those 3 athletes, the scores awarded are listed accordingly as 2 for 2 categories covered, and 1 for the 1 category covered, and 3 points respectively for the 3 categories covered by purchases. Remember, as in the case of the second athlete listed, athlete 1000-333, the 1 talking badge purchased is enough to earn the maximum of 1 point for the talking badge category. Purchasing more talking badges would not have increased the points. Remember, only those fans who have tied for top score in round 1 of scoring, only those fans progress to round 2. This is the tie-break round. If all 20 of the qualified starters in a basketball contest have registered at FHP, then the top score possible in round 2 is 20 times 5 or 100. For football, the top score possible is 22 times 5 or 110. Now we see that it is not the total number of badges purchased that gets the top score. For example, If a fan bought 6 talking badges from an athlete, who later became a starter in a target game, that would still only earn the fan 1 point, because those 6 talking badges represent just one badge type. So think about your purchases in terms of badge types, not how many total badges you can buy. It might help to buy one badge type from each athlete you think has an excellent chance to be a starter in a semi-final game. Then, knowing ties can happen. You could buy some of the different types of badges from those athletes you calculate are almost certain to start in a semi-final game. Now that you understand the scoring system, you'll be in a better position to plan your strategy. We want to make sure you have all the info you need to win. That's why we explained in detail how the contest is scored, but at the same time, it is important to remember that our brand ambassador student athletes are also winners when you play sports contests at FHP. After all, up to 88% of each dollar you spend at FHP goes directly to the student athlete whose NIL goods you buy. That's why we say thanks for being a helping fan. Cheers and bye for now.